Hello, you all, and welcome to the Shadowcast, the podcast discussing all things hidden in the shadows. I'm about to start recording. I am the Living Shadow, and we're going to get started real nice and easy. Let me turn this on real fast. Hello. I am the Living Shadow, and you're listening to another episode of the Shadowcast, the podcast discussing all things hidden in the shadows. Hello. Hopefully you hear me. Yes, I'm using this mic instead of the other mic right now, so bear with me if I look like I'm all like crouching down and stuff on the video. If you do not know about the video, do check out the video on thelivingshadow.me. I'll put this up on here. Thelivingshadow.me. You can find the videos to all my different things now. I put my videos up there, so hopefully you'll be able to find them real easy and simply. Also on youtube.com/the Shadowcast podcast, where I put the videos up there. You guys, my head has been spinning and spinning. I listen to a lot of podcasts, I watch a lot of things, and I obtain a lot of news, a lot of information. But the information I obtain, I don't know if it's helpful, if it's hurtful. It's definitely different information than most of my peers. I will put it to you that way. I'm into politics, I'm into tech, I'm into AI, I'm into things like that. So a lot of people who I deal with my age are into like celebrities, and I don't even want to say people my age. I want to say people just like gay people. Put it to you that way. Like, they're really into celebrities and stuff, and I'm not. I used to be back in the day, but now I'm like, okay, so me caring and paying these celebrities is not paying me, though. So it's really hard for me to be, like, super into them, unless I, like, meet them or something, which I have not really met celebrities, so just putting that out there. But yeah, so this week I want to talk about really a few different things. I want to talk about some YouTube changes. I finally got 5,000 views on a short. It was more than with my shirt off. It's my Happy Veterans Day short on my Living Shadow Vlogs channel. I'm excited about that. I'm excited. I finally found my Apple Pencil. This is just a me episode today. But the me episodes usually come with a lot of therapy. So stick around. Oh, I forgot my lighter again to light that sage. Darn it. Oh well. You guys, so in the news, there has been layoffs. So many people are getting fired. The elections came in, people promising jobs, people promising different things. There's a certain haystack-haired individual who is saying they're going to be president again or trying to run for president again. I hope not. Can we just not? Can we just skip that chapter? Like, can we just skip that era? I don't really want to go through that era. I'm still in my pretty girl era. I want to be in my pretty girl era. I'm in my pretty girl era. She's going to be known for that song, though, for real. That girl's going to be known for that song. Mark my words, because that's a good song. You guys. So, amidst all these layoffs, the question is, what is safe? What job is safe? I don't know if any job is safe. Like, I'm not safe doing this. This is not paying my bills doing this. I'm doing this for fun, for introspection, and honestly because it's something to do. What is this? Oh. But it's not a bill payer. Not yet, at least. I wonder, everybody's struggling at some point. What is going to change? What's going to be the new world? Are we going to go into socialism? Are we going to have something different? What is going to happen here? Like I said, I found my stuff. Okay, I'm excited because I found my Apple Pencil for forever, and now I can start doing art on the iPad. Will art be the next thing? They literally, like, I want to do music, right? I finally got some studio time. Whether you hear the song or not soon, I don't know. But my point is that if you look at the news, one of the things they tell you is that for music artists, now the music space is like oversaturated. Basically, there's so many people making music, and there's so much good music. If you go on TikTok, I've seen so many good songs by just random people, independent artists who aren't signed, but you may not pay attention to them because they aren't signed. It's like that breakthrough thing, right? And if you think about Drake was the breakthrough independent artist. So how you have to break through nowadays is different than how Drake broke through, because we didn't even have TikTok back then. We didn't have a lot of the same stuff that we have now. So it's easier and harder at the same time, because it's easier to get in front of people's eyeballs, but it's harder to get their attention or to get them to pay, like, to keep you in their ears. Excuse me. My point about saying what I'm saying is that we're entering a new world. Music used to be the big cash cow for a lot of these people. And if you're a record label, like, it's interesting because you see them complain all the time about how they're not making enough money from the music, but you also see them with, like, Lambos. So, like, who's telling the lie here? Where's the lie at? But then you see independent artists. Like, I've seen some independent artists who are, like, begging for their song to blow up and who still work a job, and they have so many followers, and it seems like they have so many streams. Oh my goodness. Not to mention, okay, apparently I got famous on Facebook somehow. Like, not really famous, but, like, famous enough so that people keep messaging me, and it's bothering me. So I apologize, you guys, but I have to keep my phone on because I'm waiting for a specific call for something. So just bear with me, okay? But that market is saturated now. The music market is saturated. A lot of people want to do music. So the arts has been the thing that people wanted to do, science and technology, right? Growing up, I grew up in the 90s. So growing up in the 90s, it was a big thing about science and technology being the big, huge, you need to learn this because this is where everything's going. Now, there's over, I think, 60,000, maybe more, maybe less. I have to relook it back up altogether. The number of tech jobs that are getting laid off, like, before the year's over, before 2023 begins. There's so many tech jobs where people are getting laid off. I mean, pour one up for the people who are getting laid off, you guys, because seriously, that sucks. But, like, I can't imagine being told this is the way you go and you be secure in this one field, and this is a field that has so few security now. Like, if you're really good at it, yeah. But if you're somebody who did it because you were told to do it and you didn't have no passion for it, it's really heartbreaking to see these people lose their jobs. Because it's like, how easily could it be you? If it is you, I apologize, but you know what I mean? Like, and it's not just Twitter. I know Elon Musk and Twitter has been a big thing for the job layoffs, but it's all over. I mean, Facebook has the biggest one, even way bigger, like 3 times as much as Twitter. But people aren't talking about Facebook as much. Facebook is laying off 11,000 people. 11,000. So what are these people going to do? Like, I know in my particular area, again, I'm from Flint. So I'm from Michigan in general. Michigan altogether, like, has different areas and where there's some superior areas and some inferior areas. And I can tell you from looking at that in general, like looking at the state of the world from a Flint, Michigan perspective, it's rough out here. People with talent are being, they're out there, they exist, but they're not getting appreciated for what they're really worth. An independent artist is not. If you're a signed artist, I don't want to hear you cry about anything. I really don't. I don't. Like, if you're signed to a record label, I do not want to hear you talk about how you're not getting enough money. I think that's the thing that like turned me off in the first place, and turned me off from Tidal, and turned me off from other kind of stuff, from music streaming, is that like you see them flaunting. That's literally, especially rappers. No offense to rappers, but most rappers, you're seeing they're flaunting that they have more money than you. At the same time, they're complaining they're not making enough money from the music. Like, come on now, something's not adding up here. There's just greed in there somewhere. If you're an independent artist, yeah, I understand completely, because you're not getting paid enough. I think the highest paying right now is Tidal. Second highest maybe Apple Music. I have to double check that to be sure. But there's so many people who, and I've seen on TikTok where there's so many people doing different things to try and get their music going and get their music taken off. And so many things you have to do for music and things like that. But that's apparently the new frontier. But I think it's a new frontier simply because we've seen and heard for so many years all these people make so much money from music. So now it's become a point where if you've seen some different cartoons and different AI information, AI can make music for you. And there's some AIs that will make music that's like guaranteed to be a hit. Or maybe it was like, you know, like a 70s hit back in the 70s, and they remaster it for today using AI. My question is, if AI makes all this good music, which is a lot of it is very good music actually, it may not be heard, but it's still good. That doesn't diminish the quality of the music. What's next then? Because it's like, at this point, we heard about NFTs and things like that. I don't think NFTs have ever going to... crypto has died for the most part. If you're a crypto person, I hate to break it to you, but like crypto is kind of gone. Like, excuse me. Unless you're one of those people who got Bitcoin in the beginning, crypto is not doing it for you. Or not doing it for people. It's been dropping. It's been dropping. Even Dogecoin, which again is Elon Musk's favorite. Dogecoin is. It's not doing so hot. None of these things are doing so hot, you know? So, I guess my question is, where do we turn to next? Is there a particular sector that we go to? Because I went to art school for the specific reason. Because I knew that if everybody was going to tech, there's got to be something else in the art field. And a lot of people are not doing art. A lot of people are and they're not. They are in their spare time as they work their 9 to 5 or whatever kind of job that they have, because they can't afford to not do it. And like they can't afford to not work and just do that by itself, which sucks. But hey, I mean, they're out there doing what they gotta do, and more power to them. My point is, what are we going to do as a society? As a society, what do we sit down and decide we need to get done? What do we decide that we need to do in order for people to not have to have 3 jobs to make it? Like, even in Flint, I have to have at least 2 or 3 jobs to make it. Like, I worked a job making $16 an hour, had to get a second job working $13 an hour just to pay my rent. When I had to pay rent, my rent was $1,000 a month, and I was not in Flint, but it was still in Michigan. My point being is that that's just way too fucking much. It's just too fucking much. Minimum wage workers in New York would have to work over 111 hours. 111 hours to make their rent. I'm gonna move this out the way because it's just... don't fall over. Sorry, you guys. If you're watching the video, you understand when it's happening. If you're not, I'm trying to move the other microphone. And was causing some issues here. There we go. Ah, Philly sticks. And it fell over. We're just gonna slide left here. Figure you out later. So if music, people with talent, people who have talent, are showcasing their talent and they're not making anywhere off their talent, they're not making it off of their skills, because their skill set doesn't pay enough, what do we do next? America is drowning, literally drowning. We are no longer the industrial world power. We're turning into a third world country if we weren't already one. The middle class, the Republicans have won in a certain kind of way, right? We just had our midterms. Democrats won overwhelmingly well in the midterms. We made history in a lot of different areas, especially in Michigan. There was history made here. In 40 years has been the it took 40 years for us to get a majority of Democrats versus the Republicans for Michigan. All that to say, there's no middle class. Republicans, for the longest, have not wanted to have middle class. So now there's no middle class, right? For the most part. I mean, there is still some people there, but it's like upper middle class is the only thing that's left. And that's basically, upper middle class is basically, lower upper class at this point. Like, if you're lower upper class, or you're in poverty, basically, or getting close to poverty, that's pretty much where we're existing now. Whereas middle class is almost completely evaporated. And since these people don't have time to do anything, what do they do for their outlets? A lot of these creative outlets help save people's lives, whether you know it or not. Some of them hurt people's lives. If you look at Takeoff, if he had just been working at McDonald's somewhere, he may not have got shot. But who wants to work at McDonald's somewhere? Really, truly. Who sits there and wakes up in the morning and goes, I can't wait to go to McDonald's and go to work. I worked at McDonald's. I'm going to tell you the truth. Ain't nobody saying that. Nobody. And yes, for those who pay attention to the video of the show, I do stare at the microphone. It's primarily an audio show. So, deal with it. Basically. Okay? Podcasting has had a big boom. I'm not sure how many people get paid for podcasting. It's like everybody's doing everything. Is the point I'm trying to get to. It's the point I'm really trying to make. If everybody's doing everything, then what is left? Who's special at this point? If everybody is doing music, if everybody is doing a movie, if everybody is making a podcast, if everybody is putting videos up on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, what is there left that someone can enter to? What niche is left that someone can enter to? And yes, tech is still a thing. It's still out there. The health field is still out there. People being doctors, lawyers are still out there. They're needed. You know what I mean? But if you're not that type of person, which I know a lot of people are not that type of person. If you're not if you're not in the medical field, if you're not in the law field of law, if that's not your, how do I put it? If you don't have any passion to do that, where do you go next? What do you do? How do you live your life? Because me over here, I'm trying to get excited about the littlest things, right? I found my Apple Pencil. That's the littlest thing I'm excited for, because I want to draw on my iPad. I have not been able to do that for a while, and I miss it. Or just write on there in general. And no, I don't have a new iPad. It's very old. My iPad's 4 or 5 years old now. It's an iPad Pro, but it's like 4 or 5 years old now. I just like drawing on it. I guess the point I'm trying to make is, well, I'm making the same point. What do you do? Where do we go? What is our next move? What's the next move here? What's the next junction? Do we go straight for socialism? Do we fight? Who do we fight about this? Depending on who you are and where you are, it was a lot of different things. Because they had a whole bunch of redistricting. I thought it was just in Michigan, but apparently it's all over the United States. They had a whole bunch of redistricting. So, and of course we had a new election. So be sure, if you want to complain about this stuff, especially minimum wage, Michigan is supposed to be finally getting a $15 minimum wage. If you want to complain about this stuff, make sure you find out who your senator is, especially if you have a new senator now. Go check that out. I recommend, honestly, going to 538.com and looking up about things about the race. Me personally, instead of Associated Press, I know a lot of people go to Associated Press, New York Times, things like that, but and as I go to this website to go tell you about it, I see that the House, the Republicans are winning the House. So that sucks. Sorry, for the people on the video, I have my computer behind my Living Shadows sign. So it looks weird because I'm like just in here, but you can't see the computer. Point being, if everybody's doing this, what's next? You know, I have my fashion line, Assassin Apparel. Check it out on the livingshadow.me/shop. Go shop for that. But I'm worried. I'm concerned. Especially as a business owner. And I think what people don't understand is that business owners, if you own a business or you work a business or you have a business, it doesn't matter who, what, where, when, why, or how you do anything. If people ain't got no money to spend on your business, people ain't got no money to spend on your business. I don't care if you run the tightest business, if you run the loosest business. I don't care if you run the most expensive business, if you run the brokest business. If someone does not have any money to pay for your product, they don't have any money to pay for your product. Some people will find the money, some people make the money. If they don't have it, they don't have it. That's just what it is. And we're creeping into a world where, under the Republican ruling, under Trump haystack hair, that's what I call him at least. So under haystack hair, we're still seeing we're still feeling the ramifications from haystack hair. Biden's trying to put band-aids over stuff. But my point is if you can't put a band-aid over it forever. We have to actually fix the stuff. And it needs complete uprooting. These older people are not uprooting things. They're just trying to put band-aids over it. Because for them, they're so worried about Medicare and Social Security. They're not caring that we won't even get it. Like, younger people won't even get Medicare and Social Security. You telling us that, like, you're trying to expand it or grow it or whatever, it doesn't matter to us because we're told for so long we're not even going to get it. We're supposed to work until we die. That's why none of us want to work now. Why would we work now? If we're looking for 60, 70, 80 years more of working in our lifetime, why do I want to spend that time working right now when I have whatever kind of bumper I can have, whatever kind of laziness I can have, especially for minimum wage? Let me tell y'all something, okay? If you get paid minimum wage, do the minimum. It's minimum wage. You getting paid the minimum. So I'm going to do the minimum. I'm not going to go out here and do everything in the world and show out for minimum wage. No. I don't care what the minimum wage is. It may be $13 where you at. That's still minimum wage. If you still own $13 for where you at, that's still minimum wage. If you're not on something that's at least 20 something an hour, I would do the very bare minimum. And that's just it. Point blank, period. This is going to be a short episode today because I really am it's more of a questioning episode. I've had those before. But what are we going to do? And I want you guys to tweet me, the Living Shadow on Twitter. If you're afraid of Twitter, I do have Tribal Social and Mastodon. I'm still trying to figure out how those work. You can hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, The Living Shadow on Facebook, Z Living Shadow on Instagram, Z Living Shadow on TikTok. I've been really going in on TikTok lately, making about 5 or 6 a day, because I'm like, I don't know. It's nothing. I spend all my time on there now because I'm trying to figure out what everybody else is doing, and of course everybody's just complaining about life. But hey, it is what it is. So follow me on those things. Tweet at me at The Living Shadow. Just tell me things. Like I really want to know what's the new plan for what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do as a society, as a collective group of young progressive individuals? What are we going to do to push ourselves forward? We need a plan. We need a goal. I talked about the midterms maybe a couple months before it happened, so I want to talk about this now. We have some time. We have a couple months before it starts getting even worse than what it is. Because I really want to know also if you're investing in the stock market. Because if you're a 20-something, even if you're a 30-something, I don't imagine you have too much invested into the stock market. So what happens as we all grow up, the stock market is gone because we don't invest into it because we don't have any extra money to invest into it. Like, what happens? I really want to know. Tell me your thoughts. Tweet me, The Living Shadow. Go to my website, thelivingshadow.me. You can send me an email. If you really need to send me an email, thelivingshadow@thelivingshadow.me. Send me an email. Just let me know what you think, because I'm really curious. And I want you all also to remember, we are the assassination. Okay, we're killing this shit. We're killing capitalism. Not because we're even really trying to, but because we're kind of forced to. It's killing itself, honestly. But we're the ones who have to live through it. We have the hardship. We have the hardest generational lives. The people who are alive today have the hardest trials and tribulations to go through of the modern world. And it sucks, but we're doing it. So pat yourself on the back. Tell yourself you're doing a good job. Find something small to be happy about in this depressed time. And I will see you all later. Bye-bye. Assassination. Yeah, for real. And this whole microphone thing just fell down. Okay, so behind the scenes. I did this behind the scenes because I really am afraid that microphone is too quiet. So I want to try this microphone because when I listen to it, I listen to the podcast back, it's always so much quieter. And I'm trying not to like yell and be like this every time I want to talk. But it's, a whole thing. So we're going to upload this. I'm going to get this going. I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank everybody for listening. I know it may sound like a rambling, but it's a condensement of news. And that's the call I was waiting for.